Hey, una good morning. This is Gloria Amayo TV. Abeg parents, make una dey lis ten to children wey children dey talk. Make una lis ten to dis woman experience. Make una see wetin happen to dis woman. Make una lis ten. Parents, I beg in the name of God, always check your child. Check your child. Look what is happening to your child. Mostly when you have a girl, a female daughter, and you go and marry to another man, please always always check upon that girl. Always know how that girl is behaving. As that her movement of the girl, always check upon that girl, because those things that this woman is talking about now is very rampant in Nigeria. It's very common in the world. Please listen to this woman. Listen to this woman and see what happened to this woman. But I thank God for his life. I thank God for his encouragement. I thank God. Listen, it's a very sad news. It's a very sad news. Parents, parents, this message is for you. Please don't be careless with your children. Don't be careless with your children. Please listen to this message. God bless every one of you. Please share. As you listen, share. Share so that people will use it to have sense. People will use it to see what is happening. This is Gloria Amayo TV. Thank you as you listen to this message. God bless you.
I grew up with a man that I thought was my father. He started defining me from the age of 5 till I was 14. At the age of 7, that was when the rape started. And he told me the day he raped me, if I tell anybody, he's going to kill me, he's going to kill my mother. So I became a victim of rape from a very tender age. How it all started. My mom is a businesswoman. She goes to the market to buy things that she sells. So one of these days, she went to the market to buy things that she sells. Then he told me to lie down. Put my on this. I refused, and he said he's going to beat me. And he forced himself. He put me down, forced himself on me, and he raped me. That was the most painful experience of my life. I have never felt a pain like that in my entire life. My mom came back. She saw me sitting outside and she said, "Patty, why are you sitting here? What's wrong with you?" And I told her that I'm sick. She took me inside and gave me aspirin. And she told him, she asked me, she said, "You're here sleeping while Fatih is outside. She said you're going to take care of her." I had to wash the bleeding because it kept ringing to my head when he told me that if I tell my mom, he's going to kill my mom and he's going to kill me. He's going to strangle me. I live in fear. So the rape continued, And it got to a point, I was about nine years when I started fighting. And one of the things that he did was to make my mom to hate me. And so that I cannot tell my mom what is happening. And anytime I try to tell my mom, he has already made her to hate me. She will push me away. I say, "Oh, please leave me. I'm so busy," and stuff like that. And like, "I need to tell you something. I need to pass a minute," but she will push me. And when he see the way she pushed me, he would tell her, when she's not around, he would say to me that, "You know what? That is how I'll make your mom to hate you. Your mom will never listen to you unless you give yourself freely to me." I started running away from the house at early as 10 years. I just ran away from the house. I won't come back to the house. They will start looking for me, and later she'll get me and she'll beat me. One time, I ran away from the house, and after like 3 days, she caught me, brought me back home, and she beats me. And one of the way when my mom beats me is sometimes she break my head with rod, sometimes she take razor blade, cut my, and put pepper. That is some of the things that. Why did she do that? So she came back that day. I fought him so hard, and she saw me and she asked him, "Why did you beat Fatty this way?" And he said to her that he saw me kissing the boy. My mom believed him, and that day she beat me. She used rod and break my head. She didn't take me to the hospital. She didn't do nothing. It was neighbors that came, tied the hand, rescued me. That pain, anytime, even when I go to the bathroom as a woman, I'm trying to clean up, I still remember that pain. I still remember the thing I had to go through. in the hand of my mother. Because I cannot believe why a mother would treat her child that way. I became weak. So I just allowed him to just take advantage of me and just, it was at the age of 14 that my mom found out I wasn't a virgin. She told me to lie down on the floor, take off my undies, and immediately, as she had on the table, she had like a long cane. Almost every African mother have this cane that they used to like put you back on check. And she had a little glass, very little one, with a liquid inside of it on top of the table. So she said to me, I need to lie down and take off my panties. So immediately it clicked to me what her husband said to me the first day he defied me. And I said, what do you want to do to me? She held it. I said, lie down. She brought out the cane. So I lie down. I took off my undies. She said, oh, you're not a virgin. And I said to her, I said, what is a virgin? My mom said, no, go ahead and tell me. You will not die. Tell me what actually happened to you. So I now told my mom everything. She told me, and I told her, I said, you remember the day you beat me? You cut my hand with blade, cut my and put pepper. And I told you the day you find out that everything that dad is telling you about me is all lie, you will cry. He said, yes. I said, that day he defied me. My mom was crying. She said she's sorry, noticed all this thing was going on and stuff like that. I think she would notice. I think she didn't want to leave her third marriage. She was trying to protect her marriage. I think she knew. But I think she was just tired of being pretending. Daddy, my mother beat me. I mean, she didn't beat me that day. She just pets me, go and take my bath and eat. So I sat by the staircase outside when my stepfather came back. And I was surprised that I didn't die. My mom didn't die. We're still both alive. So when he came, he saw me sitting outside the staircase. He said, how are you? Where's your mom? I just eased. I didn't respond to him. And unlike me, I would never have that confidence, that courage to do that. Now, because I have the backing of my mother, I can now do whatever I want to do. Then when my mom when he went into the house, he's still on his uniform. That was when my mom grabbed him and said to him, so because Patty is not your daughter, that was why you were raping her. That was the day I found out that he was not my biological father. The name I answered today is his name. Because I don't know who I didn't know who my father was. I thought he was my biological father. But he did not deny it. He was just begging, crying that the devil pushed him, that my mother should forgive him and stuff like that. Now my mom took me to go and my mom went to tell her sister before he came back from work. And her sister told her that, I've been telling you, the way you maltreat your daughter, the way you treat her as if she's not your daughter, I told her something was going on. So how are you going to rectify all the harms you have done to this girl? When he came, and that's when my mom grabbed him. And her sister now advised her to take me for spiritual cleansing. Because in African culture, in Nigeria, where my mom comes from, they call them the Igbos. And one thing like that happened, they need to take you for spiritual cleansing. It's a traditional cleansing. And it's supposed to go with a man. So before we went to the village for the cleansing, her sister told her about a man, a traditional man. They call them the native doctor, traditional man. My mom took me there for cleansing, for me to be cleansed. And they just see what this thing as a taboo, that my mom is going to die, I'm going to die, and if it continues. So the only thing for them to do is to cleanse, take away the barrier, the padlock for me. Her sister now would have taken me somewhere, and she took me there, and to a traditional man, they call him the native doctor in Africa. Then she took me there. What the native doctor told her to go out, and she left me alone inside that house, inside the room with the native doctor. And the native doctor wanted to rape me again. The native doctor wanted to fight me all over again. And I told him, and I said, if you touch me, I will kill you. Then he sent me away. Then outside, then my mom came. He just told my mom, say, bring her back later. That's something you are going to buy. My mom's looking over, I'll buy them, I'll bring her back. When we were going, I wasn't myself. And like my mom wanted to put me into another trauma all over again. So went back to the house, and I told my mom, I said, you know what? Now she started believing everything I told her. I feel she was under a spell, I don't know. Or she was doing it because of love. But now when I tell her anything, she start believing whatever I tell her. And I told her, I said, she should not please take me to that place anymore, that the man is trying to rape me. And my mom said, oh, I'm sorry for everything I put you through. That why did I tell her? Yeah, and I said, because the man told me that he's going to kill you, that he has power. So I didn't tell the whole kid to that. My mom promised that she'll never take me there anymore. What she did now, she now took me to the village, to her village, where she came from the east, Abia State. She took me there. Now she was protecting the man and exposing me to danger. Now she took me to the village to go and do all the spiritual cleansing. The man is meant to go with me and her. But what she did, she was protecting him from her father, because her father never wanted her to marry my stepfather. So she took me there. They did all the spiritual cleansing on me. And if her husband goes with us to the village, they will make him dance naked in the market. He hated me so bad. Every little thing, he would beat me. He would pull my clothes. He would spite on me. And my mom couldn't do anything. So that one time my mom was fighting, he would beat my mom also. And she just, the best thing is to move you out of the house to go and live with my brother. That's my uncle. So I went to live with her brother for like a year plus. And I was living with my uncle when my mother cousin, not her biological brother, not my uncle, when her cousin that was working for my uncle wanted to rape me again. And I told him, I said, I will not let you rape me. So our cousin almost raped me the third time in my uncle's house. And I screamed. I shouted. And I called onto my uncle's wife, Auntie, Auntie. She was sleeping in her bedroom. I was sleeping in the living room that night. And she ran out. And she asked me what happened. And I told her, I said, Auntie, Uncle Chinedu is trying to rape me. What my auntie said, she's still alive. What my auntie said, she said, you know what, that is your business, I don't care. She left me and went away. And I told him, I said, I am going to report you to my mother. So he begged me and cried and begged me not to do that. I should please forgive him and stuff like that. But I didn't tell my mom. I started to let 2 years after my mom died. And I have to come back to the house to come and live. I was clocking 16 when my mom died. And one of the things that I did, and in our culture, when your mom died, where my mom come from, you as the first daughter, mostly you have to be in the house. So I have to come back from my uncle's house back to where I was being raped because I need to be there. That night, my mom was still in the mortuary and this man was defiling. He was defiling me while my mother was still in the mortuary. When my mom found out that I was being raped at the age of 14, that was when she revealed to me that that was when it was revealed to me that the man was not my biological father. So when I came back to the house, my mom was still in the mortuary. The night I came back to the house and I slept in that house, this man, my stepfather, defied. He raped me over again. And he said to me, your mom is no more here to protect you. That if you don't allow me get my way with you, I'm going to kill your siblings and kill you the way I killed your mother. And I was scared. Before we buried my mom, she was still in the mortuary. I became a slave all over for him. When he go out, it became worse. Now he defied me every day. Later, I was rescued by a pastor when he heard my story, and he rescued me and sent me back to school. I went back to the university and I became a graduate. Everybody know my story. Even before I wrote in book, people know my story. But at the end of the day, everybody stigmatized me. Everybody just avoid me. They called me all sorts of names. And so 2016, I went to America. With my friend, I went for her movie premiere in Orlando. So I had to go for a movie premiere. The name of the movie is Benevolence. And there was another actress also that had a movie premiere on that day. And that movie had to do with malaria and rape. But when it was time for question and answer, I noticed that even African parents in America, don't want to talk about rape. So we're in this place with my friend Doris movie premiere, The Benevolence, and another movie came up about that girl. And that movie, her father raped her, and she had a child, and whereby the child died of malaria. It was time for question and answer. Our parents in Nigeria that were there don't want to talk about rape. They were all talking about malaria. And I was pale. I felt so broken. I felt so bad that nobody is talking about rape here. Everybody's talking about malaria. That's when I raised my hand. And it was at 3 marks. That was when I raised my hand. Then the owner of the 3 mark, his name is Uncle Timothy. And I told them to give me the mic. They gave me the mic. And I told him, and I said, you know what? This movie is not all about malaria. This movie is also about rape. People are not talking about rape. They are talking about malaria. And I said, now you keep talking about malaria. No rape. Look at me. I'm a victim of rape. From a very tender age. I was raped. I was beaten. I was traumatized. I was stigmatized. My was cut with. I still have that scar. Now you're not talking about it. You're talking about malaria. That was with an American professor. His name is Raphael Jackson. He was at that movie on that day in America. He told me, he said, after the whole thing is done, he said, you need to write a book about your life. You need to write it. I said, I am not going to do it. Because telling my story had destroyed me. People insult me when I pass on the street. Writing a calling dad was a very, very traumatic experience for me. I didn't want to do it, but with God's grace and with his support, I was able to write. Then I came back to Nigeria. I opened a foundation, a non-governmental foundation, whereby I started doing rescuing children that has been raped, that has been physically abused. Here I don't go to school through my foundation, where I do is just to help them and make them have a life. Just this month, a girl was killed, raped by a guy that said, I like you. She said, no, I don't want to date you. She was killed. The rate of rape in Nigeria is high, but they cover up. In Nigeria, here, no child is safe. You find out that a lot of pastors defy children. Teachers these days defy children, rape children. Doctors are being arrested that rape children in Nigeria. So no child is safe in school, in church, in the mosque, anywhere. Because there's always one monster that always take advantage of little children, that rape children. If you get that person arrested, if it's not the police, you get him arrested. Don't forget that person that accomplice, that suspect have a family. What happened at the end of the day? Your life is in danger. So what did you do? You've already gone to arrest somebody that have a family. They will come after you. One of the things that I keep telling victims in Nigeria, as a victim of rape, one of the things, I don't see myself anymore as a rape victim. I see myself as a survivor. Because I've been through hell and back. I know what pain is. And one of the things I keep telling victims is that if you want to speak out, speak out. Be courageous enough to speak out.